All right, and our last little chunk is talking about lines and parallel lines having something called a transversal and what kind of angles are formed because of that transversal, okay? So this is like probably one of my favorite topics in geometry, so let's get at it. So a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. Okay, in figure 3.4 in your iBook, okay, line T is a transversal since it passes through two or other lines on the same plane. So, just a quick sketch, we've got, and honestly, we can have this look any way we want. They don't have to be parallel. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. There's my two lines, okay? M and L. My two lines are chilling, they're doing great. And then out of nowhere, this line T comes through. The same line T intersecting two or more other lines, M and L. Excuse me. Okay? So what happens is all of these different angles are formed. Okay, we've got angle 1, angle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Typically, we'll always have 8 angles formed because we'll always have two lines intersected by a transversal. Okay, so those linear pairs and vertical angles are relationships between the angles, and we are familiar with linear pair and vertical angles, and there's both occurring in this new image in which we formed all those 8 angles, okay? So, for example, blank are a linear pair, both angles lie at the intersection of M and T. So, my challenge to you is I'm going to name one set of angles that form a linear pair. I want you to try to think of a different set and then write that underneath, okay? So angle 1 and angle 2 I recognize to be a linear pair because their two angles, 1 and 2, would form 180 degrees and they're adjacent to each other. Cool? Now see if you can maybe write another one underneath. Okay? So, like I was saying, all these different kind of angle relationships and different kind of angle pairs form because of the single transversal that cut through those two angles, okay? The first one is going to be corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are two angles formed by two lines and a transversal that lie in the same position in relation to each intersection. Now, I know this sounds like a lot, but we've got a glamorous picture right here. Basically, how I think of it is I kind of think of it as like up, down, left, and right. So if I look at this first set of 4, all right, and I look at angle 1, I see that it is up and to the left, okay? So I'm going to think upper left position, okay? Whereas 2 would be upper right position, lower right position for 4, and lower left position for 3, okay? Well, I'm going to look at that but the same kind of 4 angles, but where it was formed on the other line. And I'm going to see upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right. Okay, and I see indeed that angle 1 and angle 5 are both in that upper left. That tells me that angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. Okay? Now, alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are two angles formed by 2 lines and a transversal that lie between two lines on opposite sides of the transversal. And don't let these crazy wordy definitions throw you off. Just think, what is it asking me? It's asking me, what is an alternate interior angle? We are going to look at, once again, our 2 sets of 4. And I'm only going to focus on the angles that are inside the 2 lines, okay? So inside, interior, inside the 2 lines, okay? So I'm going to say interior, inside, the 2 lines. All right, and then where alternate comes in is we're looking at the opposite side of the transversal. Okay, so here it is on the left side of the transversal. Here it is on the right side, okay? So alternate meaning opposite sides of transversal. Okay, so angle 3 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles. Cool. Now, just opposite of that, we have alternate exterior angles. So we're going to bring the same meaning down here for alternate. And after we write our definition, we'll come up with maybe what exterior could mean and ring a bell in our head. So 2 angles, once again. Formed by 2 lines and a transversal that lie in the exterior of the 2 lines but on opposite sides of the transversal. Whew. These pesky definitions. Okay, so alternate, we said opposite sides of the transversal. Exterior, we're looking at the outside of the 2 lines. Okay, so we are focusing on outside of the 2 lines instead of inside like the last one. Here we can see that angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate exterior angles. All right, next up, consecutive interior angles. Okay, 2 angles formed by 2 lines and the transversal. So I think we don't need to spend the time rewriting all of that. Okay, it applies to every single definition. Okay, that lie between the 2 lines, but on the same side of the transversal. Okay, so consecutive and interior. Okay, we have one for interior that is existing inside the 2 lines. And consecutive we can think of as being on the same side of the transversal. Okay? So we can say that angle 3 and angle 5 are consecutive interior angles. We are focusing on, once again, interior, inside the two lines. But we want consecutive, meaning on the same side of the transversal. So 3 and 5, 4 and 6, consecutive interior angles. Okay? Now, you all can check out page 10. It is exactly this, okay? All I'm asking you to do is write what angle relation the following angles have. Okay, so you can abbreviate like we did up here. Okay, so I'm going to look at, and I'll do the first one with you, but after that, no. Okay, so let's look at angle 1 and angle 8. So I'm going to highlight angle 1 and 8 so I know where they are. And then let's also look at the two lines that we're going to be focusing on. Okay, those are our two lines. And obviously this is our transversal. We're not going to worry about 9, 10, 11, and 12 right now. Okay, they're great, but focus on 1 through 8. Okay, so first thing I'm going to ask myself is, are they existing on the inside of these two lines, meaning within here? Or are they existing on the outside of the two lines, meaning out here? I think it is outside, so I'm going to know that I'm dealing with an exterior angle, okay? And next thing I ask myself is, are they on the same side of the transversal or opposite sides of the transversal? Here I see that 1 is on the left side of our blue highlighted transversal, and 8 is on the right side of our blue highlighted transversal, okay? That tells me that they are alternate exterior angles, okay? So you are going to complete these, okay? And sorry, my dog's making some noise. Do your practice problems, the little Canvas quizzes like usual. I figured it was kind of pointless for us to have those in our notes as well because we're about to do them on Canvas. So I know this is a lot. Take your time. Understand it. You guys rock. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.